Hi, I'm attorney Dave Maldonado, a seasoned litigator with over a decade of experience in Montana. Have you been injured in a car accident? If so, remember insurance companies want to give you as little money as possible. There's a reason why they have the biggest buildings in the largest cities. Don't let big insurance bully you. Visit BigSkyDefender.com today to see how I can help you get fair compensation for your injuries. The consultation's free and the fight's real.
Coach, when you're ready, we'll begin with your opening statement.
What an unbelievable basketball game. I look at our three semifinal games that we've had, Southern Utah to Weber last year, tonight. My goodness, I don't know if I can take any more of these semifinal games, but I thought our team showed a tremendous amount of composure and toughness tonight. We had a mindset, and they talk about it. It doesn't matter if it's 40, 50, 60, 70 minutes. We're going to keep coming. We're going to keep competing. And tonight, I thought this was probably the best game in my 4 years here of our offense not affecting our defense. And that's really hard for young kids to do. When you're not making shots, you kind of get down and it affects your defense. It didn't affect our defense tonight. And give credit to Weber, who I think is tremendous defensively. They were the same. They were struggling a little bit offensively, and they were guarding our butts, man. And but I thought, when it came time to get a stop, we got to stop. And when it came time to make a play, okay, and I've got about 70,000 text messages right now saying great play call out of a timeout. That's this kid. I didn't call that. We called the same play that we were running, and he said, Coach, I'm going to be open on a kill cut from the baseline. Just have JB just chip my guy. I'm going to be open for a lob. And he's going to be a heck of a coach someday. I'm going to start letting him call all the plays at the end of the game. But, you look, guy to my right, Great, was phenomenal. It's hard to guard him with a four-man, and, their fours really struggled to guard him on the block. Obviously 16 points. But I thought we made free throws when we had to, and at the end, we did what we do. When we had to get a stop, we got to stop.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now open up to any questions you guys have for our two players.
RaeQuan, hey, Colter, Luana, Skyline Sports. A game like that, that's just a street fight. What does it take to stay in it? How do you stay in it mentally?
Just the culture. We've been doing this all year. We prepare for games like this. We do so many last second practices. At the end, there's 2 seconds on the clock, just like what we did. We practice that, bro, and we get ready for it. And it happened today, and we're ready to execute.
And Great. It seemed like that was the mismatch you guys wanted to go to. Was you against some of their power forwards? How were you able to take advantage of that?
I feel like if you put me on the block against a smaller defender, my job is easy. I just have to go there and finish. And coach always tells me to stay aggressive. And tonight I just felt like I could impose my will on them. And credit to their defense. I just thought if you get me the ball in the block, I'm gonna get a bucket.
For both of you guys, we've talked a lot about this year of having the expectations of being the defending champion and knowing that you're going to get everybody's best effort. How have you, including this result, how have you managed the weight of those expectations and been able to come through on the other side to put yourself in this position?
Just trusting each other, trusting our coach too. He's kind of led us through this whole thing, and just being able to have that trust from one to another, it just goes a long way.
Yeah, coach always talks to us about being there before you get there, and I felt like we've been preparing for this moment for the longest time. Job's not done. We're still ready to go tomorrow, so I'm excited.
This one's for RaeQuan, Ashley Washburn, MTN Sports. It seems kind of like that first half you were dealing with some of the mental woes of shooting and then the fouls, but to end the game the way that you did, what was just that emotion to kind of put everything away and end it in that caliber?
Just staying the course, being able to squash the previous play and move on to the next one, and just worrying about what's important now. And in high school, I always grew up thinking win. And that's just what's important now, and you just move on and make sure you get a stop, and there's another opportunity to score.
Ray, we had two of the biggest fan bases in the Big Sky, and two of the best traveling fan bases in the Big Sky.
You had the best. I know that.
Well, it's debatable.
You had two of them, but you had the best.
I think there were two fan bases that would debate that tonight. But
I'll settle that debate if you want.
What was the energy like in such a back and forth game for you?
Oh man! As soon as we started doing the starting lineups, it got loud in there. We knew our fans were here. like Coach said, like we got the best fan base in the whole league, man. So like just being able to have them all come out and support and show love, it just feels like we're home.
Ray, now that we know who called that final play right there, we talked to Coach Duft before, and he was talking about how they had to play small ball late in the game. Did that kind of lead into that play call right there, or was this just something that you guys have practiced a lot, that you knew that you could execute well, or what's kind of the mindset behind that play call right there?
It's just being on the same page. You know, I think it was after the first OT, I saw him shake and he got a wide open three. But during that, I recognized that, you know, who was ever guarding me and who was ever guarding JB was kind of shading him. So I was like, dude, if you set this chip, it's going to be wide open. That's what Darius will get in the paint, throw it up, I'll finish it. Like, you know, just being able to have that trust and us being on the same page, it works.
Great. This is a team that Weber State, you guys have had a lot of experience against. This is a team that a lot of these matchups pretty much go this way. You guys are playing against NAU, a team that has kind of surprised the league. What is it kind of like playing against a team like NAU compared to Weber State tomorrow?
I think they're both phenomenal teams. Like, they both play really hard. Weber played amazing defense. They make it tough for you to score. NAU is electric on offense. They've got a really good point guard, really good shooting guard. Their bigs are solid. So we're gonna have to go out there and do what we do. You know, gonna play hard, stick to our principles, play defense. But as you said, two different teams. We handled Weber tonight, and I feel like now we stick to our principles. We'll be fine tomorrow.
Great. Before you fouled out, it seemed like there was some offense for defensive subs with you and Caleb. For him to make that play right at the end, what is that moment like for everybody in celebrating him?
It's big time. I really want to give credit to like our three transfers, Rob, DB, and Caleb. Like, they came in and they changed the game. DB had 11 balls. Like, we went in from the point guard position like that. That's impressive, and I want to give him big credit. Rob won a lot of 50-50 balls for us. Like, that's immense. That's not in the scoreboard, but we know about that, and we appreciate that. And then Caleb, like that last possession when he had to sit on Battle, who is a tremendous player, he stood in front of him, caused an air ball, he got the ball. And like, when you have players that make plays, you're in a great situation, you're in a great position.
Any last questions?
RaeQuan, after having that tough semifinal last year, what can you learn as far as just having that quick turnaround and preparing for tomorrow?
Just getting off our feet, man, and just trusting what we've been doing all year. Just like we did last year, just staying the course and having that championship mindset, just finishing the game. 40-plus minutes. Like Coach said, it could be 70 minutes, 80 minutes. You can go play for 24 hours. I don't care. We're going to come out and play.
Thank you both. And now
Just a few minutes, small business owners can now sign up for Blackfoot Communication Services. Whether it's dependable voice options or internet services, sign up simply by visiting blackfootsmallbusiness.com. Click on the services you wish, select an installation time and date, and you're done. Small business services at the touch of your fingers. Connect to more with Blackfoot Communications and blackfootsmallbusiness.com.
You guys go sleep.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Got food for you, too. I know you're always hungry. I got to fundraise extra just to feed Greg.
Hey, Coach, Brandon Sullivan, MTN. I wanted to touch on a little bit what Ashley was talking about with RaeQuan, and also with the game itself. Was this one of the most, difficult games in a sense to coach? As far as everything that was involved. If you want to feel free to talk about officiating, go ahead. Or anything. It all seems to play into. It's a difficult job.
First off, the officials have the hardest job, and I thought they did a good job. It was a physical game, and I thought they did a good job letting guys play at times too. And it's going to be a physical game. I thought the flow was really good. Credit to them. I don't remember the first part of your question.
Well, for you personally, coaching a game like this.
It was very difficult to coach. It was hard. I'm looking at my play card, and I got 9,000 plays, and I couldn't find anything to run against those guys. That's how good of defense that they were playing. They made everything hard. We had to score over them until really the dunk. But every time, they chested up and they made us score over them, which is what we try to pride ourselves on too. And I think we did a good job. But I thought defensively they were phenomenal tonight.
Danny, obviously, earlier this week or late last week, Darius is named Defensive Player of the Year in this conference. He had a couple different assignments tonight, obviously, with some switches. How valuable was he in a game like this?
He was phenomenal. I know he got a big steal in the first half and got a layup, kind of got us some energy. But guarding Verplancken, who I think is one of the best guards in the league, he was tremendous. And he's hard to guard because he's got good size, and he gets to his mid-range and he gets that shot up over anybody. And I thought we made him work for a lot of his shots and kind of got him tired a little bit at the end. But to hold that team from 3 of 16 from 3, I think that, I didn't really recognize that during the game, but I think that's a huge, part of us winning that game.
And what can you make of NAU's run as the 9 seed in this tournament to make it to tomorrow? And what do you expect to see out of them a third time?
They're phenomenal. Like, they're playing terrific right now. They're playing connected. They're confident. Jalen Cone can go for 40. We've all seen it. Everybody's playing well. They're Fuller, you name it. And for them to beat Idaho, Eastern, and Montana, in 3 and 4 days, I mean, that's impressive. And I got to hand it to Coach Burkhardt too. They've had a lot of tough losses this year. They could have very easily had 9 or 10 conference wins. They lost a bunch on last-second shots. Probably 5 or 6 games, including ours. And for him to get his team to keep coming and getting better, and practicing and playing hard, it's a testament to their players' character and his coaching ability.
You mentioned the offense and defense, your offense not affecting your defense. I mean, how tough is it mentally for guys to stay in a game like that for 50 minutes? And what do you think of your guys' ability to do that?
It's brutal. I mean, it's brutal. And both teams, give them credit because they were doing the same. Like when they weren't scoring, they were getting stops. But that was kind of like an old Big East game. It felt like. But give our guys credit. We got the one stop when we needed to get a stop.
Talked to Dillon Jones after this game, and he kind of explained what happened after the game. I was just wondering if you could say what happened in your words with him.
Yeah, he wouldn't shake my hand because he said I didn't vote for him, which is not true. It's not true at all. And I don't know if their coaches were using it to motivate him. They may have been. I hope they tell him the truth now because I did vote for him. He's a tremendous player. I mean, one of the best players in this league, and he's definitely a first-teamer. And so, I don't know. I live by truth. I know I voted for him, and so he can think whatever he wants, to be honest with you.
Any final questions for Coach? Our final question for Coach.
Coach, on that last possession of the first overtime, which I know feels like an eternity from now, but you didn't call a timeout, and you talked about the trust you have with your players. Can you just take me through why you didn't opt to call a timeout and let the players play?
Yeah, I didn't want them to set up their defense or change the defense. Because I think there was only 11 seconds or something on the clock where it would have been tough if they did change. And so I wanted to make sure, and our guys knew what we're supposed to run. Like RaeQuan said, we practice those situations a lot, throughout the whole year, and we even do it in shoot-arounds. And so I knew our guys, and I trusted our guys, and we have some veteran guys that I want, that made the right play.
Great, thank you, everyone.
Yep. One thing I will say too, I want to. It's hard. One of my former players. Joseph Frazier. I'm praying for him. And his mom, Ty. And I know Molly and Mike Johnson are watching me, and they told me to smile more in my interviews. And I'm trying because I know Joseph would want me to, but they're going to take him off life support. And just know that I'm praying for him, and until I see him again, I love him. And any player that ever plays for him, he's family. And it puts tonight into perspective. This was a hard game. It's nothing compared to that. And so, thanks.
Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Right down the road, pump it up. Oh, yeah.
Coach, when you're ready, we'll begin with your opening statement.
Yeah, well, first of all, really proud of our team tonight. There's a stat in basketball, points per possession. You like to hold your opponent under 1 tonight. We played 50 minutes of basketball and gave up 60 points. They don't really have points per minute in basketball, but I can tell you that that's really hard to do. And our team was locked in defensively all night and competed every possession. They made one more play than we did. Other than that, I thought our team tonight was about as competitive as we've been all year. Our competitive character, we talked about it before the game, was going to have to shine through. And it did tonight. These two guys up here, these guys have led us all year long. And things didn't go real well for us on offense, but that never kept us from playing and competing the entire night. And just really proud of our team's effort, and congratulations to Montana State. But I couldn't be more proud of our group and what we accomplished. So turn it over to questions now.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now open up to any questions you guys may have for our two players.
Dillon, Coach Nuanez, Skyline Sports, why was this game such a slugfest?
I just think it was a slugfest just because we just had two teams that was not budging. They weren't budging for us, and we definitely weren't budging for them. And that's what you kind of expect going into these tournament games. Their experience, obviously, they have a lot of guys that was on their tournament team from last year. But I think that's why it was a slugfest, and both teams wanted to win. Really bad, so I just think that's why it was that.
And last year's game between you guys in this tournament was all-time classic, and another one again. Why is it like that with Montana State?
I don't know. I think they have good coaching. We have good coaching. They have good players. We have good players. So when you somehow end up on the same side of the bracket, that's just what you kind of expect. I just think. They're a really good team and program, obviously, and we are as well. So I just think just us colliding is just a major component of that.
Steven, it was, like has been said, just a back and forth battle. There was no budging by either team. What's it like to play in a defensive slugfest like that?
It's tough because every possession matters. You miss a shot, you got to get another stop. Piggyback off them too, they just made one more play. Alley-oop at the end, made one more play. But this game, everything matters. A closeout, I missed a rebound on 4. That was part of losing the game. I missed 2 defensive assignments. Everybody, those little things in this game, it's put in a microscope, and it gets bigger and bigger. But for this team, we just resilient. We kept telling each other, we win these type of games. And if you look, every time we've been in a dogfight, most of the time we're on top. So.
Simon Mortensen, the Weber State Signpost. You guys have talked about how this was a team that entered the season completely different than where you guys have left it. Kind of explain that in terms of, after this game and being in this conference tournament and what this team has accomplished this season.
In the beginning of the year, we were 2-7. 2-7, we went to Vegas, got pretty much swept down there beside one game. We come home, we lose at home, but hardly happens. I think we just stayed together. We had guys where you walking in the gym in the morning, we shooting. We have a first-year head coach. We made adjustments. They weren't. Last year they ran a bunch of motion. This year he made adjustments. Credit to the staff and him. I think we stuck together, and also some guys had to take on bigger roles. Some guys had to take on lesser roles, but no one complained. We always stayed together, and as brothers, that's why we succeeded and came up in conference. We knew that was going to happen.
I think a big part of it is, when you lose in those games early on, it's important to, build it up the right way. Like you can accept losses if you're losing them the right way, if that makes any sense. If we'd rather do that than win and not be doing it the right way, because right now in the tournament or later on in the season, we'll be playing our worst ball instead of our best ball. So I just think those moments made our team, like Steven said, credit our staff for adjusting to our team. First year head coach, like he said, so we knew it wasn't going to be pretty, but we figured it out. So.
Colin Coles with the Weber State Signpost. I'm going to ask Dillon. These last 2 games you played so many minutes, and like this game you played all 50. Where's your body taking a toll on those many minutes back-to-back nights?
Everywhere, and then at night, they was playing Osobor a lot because he was a post and he knew he could post me. So tonight I was battling in the post. Sometimes I switch on guards, all of that, but in the moment, honestly, you don't really think about it too much. There's other things that could, it's people going through a lot worse things in life than playing 50 minutes in a basketball game. So that's why I feel like the reason I'm able to do it is because, I take care of myself outside of the court. I do what my coaches ask me. I don't be out doing nothing crazy. I just rest. So, because I know when I get in those moments, I don't want to just look up and be like, dang, I ain't have it tonight, these moments are more important to me than anything, so that's how I'm able to do it.
Sean Lewis, Weber State Weekly. Sorry, Coach, go ahead.
Oh, I can just tell you, this guy, he plays 50 minutes because of his preparation. Now, we haven't had a guy here for a long, long time that prepares like he does. And it's not magic. He doesn't step out there and just gut it out. It's because he's prepared every single day. He does everything he can in every aspect of his life to make sure that he's playing his best. And Steven does too. But I just wanted to make sure that was noted. I mean, it's his preparation. He's as good as we've had here in a long time.
Sean Lewis, Weber State Weekly. Players, what's the takeaway, or what do you need to build on for next year for you guys?
First, the takeaway is, like I told the team, 2 years ago and a year ago, I would be up here in tears, crying. But as I'm getting older and I'm around more people, I'm getting more mature. Losing isn't okay, but when you play a team for 50 minutes and they score 60 points, and they just make one more play to you, you just gotta tip your hat to them, honestly. It's not really much you can say. So that's just kind of where we are with the team. But next year, this will be the first time, actually, since I've been at Weaver, we'll be returning a lot of players. I'm interested to see how that's going to be, because a lot of times when I've been here, we've always had to kind of build a new team almost. And we're returning all 5 starters. We got good freshmen on our bench. We got a freshman at redshirt that everyone's gonna love. Our recruits already that we got committed are gonna shock a lot of people, and we're gonna be rolling. That's all I can really say. I ain't trying to get y'all too excited, but yeah, we're gonna be good.
Ashley Washburn with MTN Sports. This one's for you, Dillon. It's hard for emotions not to be high after a game like this, where you play 60 minutes and it comes down to one play. But I was wondering if you could expand on that conversation with Sprinkle after the end of the game.
I was walking in the line, and I didn't see him, and then he grabbed my hand. It was like shake my hand. He grabbed my hand. It was like shaking my hand. I love competitiveness. And I just told him. I said last year, I was crying after their game, and I just told him, you told me I was the best player in the league. He told me to come back next year. You're gonna be the best player in the league, and I didn't get an award. I thought that he might have been a culprit of that, and it's not about that, honestly, but that's what happened. I didn't see him, and he grabbed my hand and shook my hand, and we just had a little exchange, but nothing personal. I know Coach Sprinkle, he's pretty good people, so.
Appreciate that.
Thank you both. We'll now open up to any questions you guys may have for Coach.
Coach, back and forth the whole game, but what did you see on the the backside alley-oop that they threw to take the lead. Did you expect that, or I mean, how'd they get loose?
Yeah, you know, they have run that in the past, and you know, credit to Danny, he called a good play there at that time, and we just kind of lost track of him. We had to go small there towards the end of the game, so we had our 2 5-men that fouled out, and to be honest, last year we could play small, and it was really good to us. This year it hasn't been quite as good, and but we really had no choice in that situation. But you know, just a good play, you know, good call and good play.
There really wasn't an easy shot in this game, but especially the last 20 or 25 minutes. Why? I mean, well, it's just a chess match, or what was going on?
Yeah, you know, I think it is a chess match out there. You know, we have good familiarity with their play calls and what they run, and likewise, you know, they have with us. It's the third time we've played them, and there's not a lot of secrets out there right now. You know, it's when you play as a team for the third time, it's really about players stepping up and making plays, and so there's just no tricking each other. I mean, just very little of that going on. So it's and you got two teams that are well schooled defensively, that play hard, have good plans, and this is what you get.
What was your message to the team in the locker room afterwards?
Yeah, you know, I just told them, you know, obviously very proud of their effort. There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to lose tournament games this year, and some of those teams are going to really, if they really self-reflect, they're going to look at themselves and say, you know what, we didn't buy in very well. I didn't really buy into the team, and it's not going to hurt that much for them. But when you have a team that really buys into how you want to do things, playing at Weber State's a special thing. We've had great players that have played here. And when you buy in and you're all in, it's going to be painful. But if you want to go through life and just be average, you're never going to experience the joy of when you win something big, and then you won't have to deal with the pain. But that's not what we're about in this program. And we're going to buy in, and we're going to be all in every aspect. And that's our kids were hurting, and that was the message I gave them.
Speaking of that self-reflection, how would you self-reflect on your first year as leader of the program, and what do you need to improve upon as a coach for next year?
You know, I mean, I mean, you're constantly, I think, you know, coaching's like farming. You know, the work's never done, right? And you just got to. I think at one point we were 358th or something in the country in defensive efficiency rating. We got that all the way up to 118. So we just found out a lot about ourselves, 8 new players. It was going to take us a little bit of time, but you know, I do like the continuity that we have coming back next year. I think we'll be able to put a plan together pretty quickly and hit the ground running a little quicker than we did this year.
Awesome, Coach. We saw Alex too get into foul trouble early.
Yeah.
How do you feel like Tom adjusted and stepped up in that role?
Yeah, you know, Tom has just gotten better and better. And that's the one aspect of our team where we're really young. We're really young up front and with our fives. You know, Alex is a sophomore but played limited minutes last year. Tom is a true freshman. Well, redshirt freshman from Tennessee, but he hadn't played any games. Daniel Ruzon's a true freshman. So, but those guys just keep getting better and better. And with 5 men, you're just going to have to, you know, those guys are talented, they're long, they're athletic. You got to get them in your program and keep developing their skill set. And we've seen Tom come a long way this year. So we're really proud of his development.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, guys.